Don't shoot what it looks like, shoot what it feels like by David Allen Harvey. Hi, my name is Yenifer. We're going to talk about a topic that everybody uses. This topic everybody uses in every day around the world, and when we capture it, it takes the best. When we capture it, it captured the best moments. We're going to talk about the basic of photography. The three things that we're going to talk about today are the techniques that we use, the lenses that we use in the camera, and the transmit emotion. So let's get it started. So on the book Shoot Marco by Stan Shalik, it states that the lenses that he used is a 105 millimeter micro Nikkor that helps him work with the lighting. So depending the lenses that you use, it actually helps take away the lighting that is blocking with the picture and use mostly, the studio light, or it helps the lens capture the natural light. So depending what camera you want to use, it helps with what the picture you want to take. For example, the camera Nikon D3500 is, as you can see on the lower left, these are the different lenses that we use, and as a beginner we use this kind of camera because it helps catch the light, and since it has different settings, you can play with the settings. In the book Shoot Marco, it states that changing a few diffuser to see what effects it has with the picture. So changing a few um, settings, it does affect the picture. If you want to take a picture of a vintage, the or black and white, there are different type of lenses that actually helps with that and make it more real. As you guys can see on the right side, there are different type of lenses and different type of camera that goes with the lenses. So if you want to have a professional for a party, there is a big lens that they use. If you want to use vintage or just a marble for our family and friends, there are different type of cameras with different type of lenses. And lastly, there are the camera lenses, for example, like our phones have different type of lenses. Like iPhone has different type of lenses, Samsung has different type of lenses, all phones have different type of lenses. So with our phone, and the lens that they create is the background that we want. For example, if you want to make the background blur so the middle part will actually be the center, you guys can do that. If you want to make the image sharper or more brighter, you guys can do that as well with your phones. Next, we're going to talk about the techniques. In the book of According to Langford, Starting Photography, the Guide to Creating Great Image, it states that all camera in the world, including sensors, films, camera, and more, have the tools for making picture. So what it states that when the camera that we use, the technique that they use are videographer, blogs, documentaries, pictures for events. And one technique that the book Langford Starting Photography, the Guide to Create Great Image, it talks about frame. What is frame? A frame, it affects on how the person look throughout the picture. And when we fix our hair or glasses, sometimes there's a glare that it catch back to the camera, or we want to make sure that we are looking great for the picture, but are also aware that it helps us with the camera view and the vision. So it also helps to take picture of horizontal and or vertical if you want that. Another technique that we can, it's called cov- um, converging lines. It helps us by changing the scale of the picture or changing the tone, aided by the lighting. Lastly, I want to talk about is that when we take a picture, we can either take a close one or far one, or we can also stand firm, breathe before taking a picture, and shoot and capture the moment. And lastly, what I want to talk about is inspiration. According to the book, read this if you want to take great photography of people by Henry Carroll, it states that a candid photograph is where the subject is seemingly unaware of the photographer. Presenting offer carries a great sense of truth. So we feel like when we are being ourselves, our natural self, We capture the best moments, and we often take picture of what the time of the background that we use. For example, if we want to post something on Instagram, we capture the best moment, and we sharing a loved one in the picture, or some image. And the book, read this if you want to take a great photograph. People, it says that never underestimate the power of subject gaze. The subject can be the people, the animal, or the actual nature, and it has different many interpretation, and many interpretation can create inspiration of the picture. Lastly, I want to let you guys know that in this picture, as you can see, a woman standing on the road. They have different interpretation, that she's walking, or because she's walking on the road by herself. There are different interpretation, but inspiration of the picture. And lastly, I want to tell you that everyone can learn these simple techniques, inspiration of whatever camera that you use, either by your own phone or a camera. This technique did help me see the camera more different, and it can help we can manage with the gadgets that we have. And lastly, I want to say a quote by Leon Livingston. It says, "I walk, I look, I see, I stop, I photograph." Thank you.